The commandments show us why we need Jesus, and Jesus shows us how we get to live those commandments. So here's where we're going to land today. The 10 Commandments don't so much point to the plan of Jesus as much as they actually are the plan of Jesus. And when we realize that we can view the commandments of God through a wholly different perspective by recognizing that they are revealing God's identity, it changes us. The commandments reveal God's heart while also exposing our need for Jesus, and it invites us into a life where obedience is supposed to become the natural response, love in action. But too often, our instincts are to assume that the rules are only meant to restrict us and take away opportunity. And when we think that way, it's because we've built our thoughts around two false beliefs. The first false belief is this belief that we know better than our Creator what will make us happy. That's a false belief that all of us fall for. We're convinced that we know better than God at times about what will bring joy into our lives. And the second false belief is this, is that we don't always believe that our Creator has our best interest at heart. We think that only we can take care of ourselves. In fact, the world teaches it. You got to watch out for number one. But both of those are a lie. One, God does know what will make us happy. And two, He wants us to be happy. And when we look at the events of the Exodus, God definitely wants what's best for us. He engages in rescuing us first. He's the one who gives us the tools to help us avoid getting into trouble again. The life of Jesus is the fulfillment, and what we see here in the 10 Commandments is ultimately a prophetic event. And we think about where we've been in this study so far. I mean, we started off at the beginning of Genesis. God has this design where when humans live in unity as designed by God and with God cooperating, all of a sudden we get to be a part of bringing life into the world. We also know what happened next, that humanity elected to separate from God. But even when that happened, God shows up and offers us a promise that there will be a descendant of a woman who will bring us freedom, who will first be wounded, but he will ultimately crush the head of the serpent that deceived us in the first place. Then a few weeks ago, we looked at Abraham and Isaac, and what did they do? They modeled for us that God would protect humanity by sending a substitute ram. And then last week, we bumped up against Moses, and we realized that the sacrificial lamb resulted in death passing by those who were otherwise targeted for it. And the law that we're looking at today warns us that by our own efforts, we're bound to wreck. Death is certain, but the sacrifice of Christ frees us from that bondage and gives us the freedom to learn how to love God. And we have all the time we need to make that happen.